All right, everybody, welcome back. Thank you for joining me again for another spooky, creepy, hopefully maybe even a little bit scary video from Frostmare TV. This one is called Scary Videos You Can't Watch Alone, number 31. And I am so thankful that you are all here with me. So I'm not watching it alone. All right. Let's just get started. Not. All right. Let's go.
Now we are following the Foreman brothers once more to the housing of a supposedly haunted sheet company in Ohio. The complex was built in 1918 and was home to many of the sheet company's workers. When the company closed its doors in 1977, many of the 5,000 employees who were impacted by the sudden job loss decided to end their lives in the provided housing complexes, which many believe to be the reason for the reported paranormal sightings on the old premises. The Foreman brothers set up shop in different buildings and start their nightly investigation. Shortly
Okay, I have got to say, this looks like it would be a cool place to explore. And oh, I'm crazy. I get that. But it still looks like it'd be so cool. It does.
brothers set up shop in different buildings and start their nightly investigation shortly after arriving at the scene. When Josh and Sean are investigating by themselves in one of the many derelict buildings, something quite creepy unfolds.
By the door, right next behind Sean. My name is Josh. Like when you're inside, you don't hear anything outside. What's wrong?
What the hell did you do?
Huh?
Why did you scare me like that?
What happened?
Nothing. What are you doing?
Why are you yelling, screaming?
I wasn't.
Did you hear that?
Heard someone screaming.
Sean was yelling, scream, scream, scream.
I never did.
Are you in this house?
Did you hear that? Dude, I just did that so much somebody on the job said. I thought it was Rocky.
It is believed that maybe an imposter spirit was trying to get the team's attention, as several screams can be heard by the
Imposter spirit? What would that be? I mean, if it's a spirit, it can't be an imposter. Okay, that's a confusing turn of a phrase. For me, anyway. Maybe y'all get it. I'm not quite sure. But are you hearing the voices in the background? I don't know if it picks up through the recording, but I'm getting it. And I mean, it's not really loud enough to like freak me out or anything, but I can see how it would get their attention if they're hearing it. Well, obviously they are, because it gets their attention.
I thought it was Rocky.
It is believed that maybe an imposter spirit was trying to get the team's attention, as several screams can be heard by the team at different times of the night, even when they were not in close vicinity to each other and separated in different buildings. Very strange. But what's even more is a really odd capture the team could come up with when interviewing one of the project leaders, Timothy.
I for sure have absolutely seen the other side reach out to me.
Ooh, that's interesting, isn't that? Wow.
It would appear like an apparition is making its way through the background, and it certainly wasn't easy to see at the time. But
Kind of looks like a couple people having a conversation over there. But we can only really see one. The other one, yeah, this looks like it could be, if we expand our imagination, the back of someone's head, and then this woman over here is talking to them, or maybe this is a child. I don't know. I mean, it looks like it could be just a slice of everyday life.
how else could we explain this? It does look like a torso though, doesn't it? Maybe one of the lost souls that is still roaming the old factory property.
Yeah, because there's definitely, I mean, this is coming from over here, and then there's something else moving around in here. Very interesting.
Can say. Now we want to take a look at the capture, which was shared by user Poolhard. He states, "My brother set up an infrared trail cam inside of his trailer on his property with no neighbors. This was the only capture all night, captured 3 hours after he left. Please notice how there's no reflection in the TV. It's nothing but mud here right now. No footprints that weren't my brother's. To add wonder, the camera snaps 3 photos at once, and nothing appeared in the first or third photo. The one I'm showing you was the second photo. Anybody have any reasoning for this? My brother looked for signs if somebody was there perhaps, but couldn't find anything strange."
Well, the fact that they're only showing us what they say is the second photo of 3, and that there's nothing in the first and nothing in the third. Well, I would kind of like to see first and third to judge for myself that there's nothing there to explain this. I mean, I'm just a little picky that way.
Many people commented that it appears to be the apparition of a man in a top hat. Could this be the case? Perhaps it could even be a capture of the infamous Hat Man. What other explainable reasons could this capture have? Do you think somebody snuck onto the property without anybody realizing? Not very likely if no footprints were found that night. But maybe you have a better explanation for what had happened here. I mean, you can even see a hand with fingers here. At least it appears that way. Was this ghost perhaps looking for something? A former owner of the land? Hard to say. This seems to be a really mysterious photo.
Very mysterious.
User Champford has uploaded the following to the paranormal section of Reddit. He states, "So, my mom's doorbell camera went off in the backyard and it said somebody was lurking out there. But when she looked, she didn't see anyone. Right after that, you'll hear some screeching noises. Then a bang on the wall or porch, followed by heavy breathing right before the light turns on. And then there's a strange whistle. There was no one there, and my mom didn't make any of these noises."
What was that thing fluttering around in there? Yeah, it's got to be just a moth or something. interesting.
What do you guys think happened here? An intruder from another realm? Or just a person that was well hidden?
Oh, that screeching noise kind of sounded like an old sliding door, like a screen door. That was a thump. Seeing something that looks like a shadow moving down in this area, going along with the whistling. Like right in there. Did y'all catch that?
Following incidents have been documented by user Alex Calvoy's Haunted. Ever since inheriting some items of his deceased great-grandfather, the young man states that unusual activity has started to unfold in his apartment. It got so bad that he decided to create a video diary and to share his encounters on video. Furniture being moved was just one of the many events he has experienced over the last few months.
Okay, I just heard a loud bang out here. It's the middle of the night. Sounded like it was coming from the kitchen. Hello? Oh,
Oh, they saw something move over there.
hello?
Did I? Ah, the chair. Maybe. I gotta back it up. I thought I saw something move.
Hello?
Okay, so something right in here. Yeah, the chair moved.
Hello?
But it got worse.
Okay, I was just hearing some scary noises coming from the entrance, and it happened. I'm out here in my living room again, which is right by where that chair moved the other night. And I don't know, there's just been like scary going on around that.
Uh-oh.
It was the first time for him to capture an actual shadow being. He believes that this could have been his great-grandfather. Is that possible? Alex believes that the spirit might want him to find something specific with those keys. A wild story for sure. Many people believe, though, that dark shadow
Yeah.
beings never intend for friendly visits.
Finding the keys is odd. Again, we don't have anything that shows us that they weren't there before Shadow Guy. But we are given the impression that they are somehow linked. That's very interesting. But this guy who recorded this is a very rare individual to actually charge toward the shadow guy instead of throwing the camera to the floor and running the opposite direction.
The following is an investigation that Dawn has conducted with her son. She tells me, I took a trip to visit my son in Washington State. We planned a trip to Manresa Castle, a beautiful historic hotel. When we first got into our room, the chandelier was swaying slightly, even though all the windows were closed. My son rented a room that was right below the attic room. That, according to the stories we've heard, was where a monk himself back in the 1920s. I didn't see it at the time, but days later I was reviewing my footage after I got home and couldn't believe my eyes what we caught in the mirror.
Thank you so much. I saw you. I saw you. I saw you. Oh no, I went back. Went up a little bit.
No, she's doing like a whipping sound. Like, yeah, when it beat, it did it. Is this the monk or is this the fiance that has the broken heart?
Okay, I'm wondering because it looks like there's somebody sitting here, raising his hand and flapping it in front of the mirror. It is so dark and compressed with the zoom getting in there, trying to. It's really hard to tell what I'm looking at.
This is a quite significant recording, as it would appear that a shadow apparition is responding intelligently to Dawn's and Israel's questions and acknowledges that they could hear it via their spirit box. I find the movement of this shadow is quite similar to the recordings of the Lamb House, which is why I believe this video to be real. Could it be the monk, or perhaps another restless spirit that was communicating with the two? Certainly quite intriguing, I find. What do you think?
Well, it was apparently somebody who was enthusiastic about having company. I guess if you've been dead long enough, even live people are better than nothing, huh?
I saw you. I saw you. Oh no, I went back. Went up a little bit.
The following has been captured by a superintendent after a fire broke out in an old apartment complex. They were checking the lower floors for any residents that hadn't made it out of the building yet, but it turned out that everybody was outside on the streets at this point. This snapshot, however, says otherwise.
Wow. It's amazing what they get in pictures from fires. In this case, just from the smoke. It's always something.
The silhouette of a man in black appears in the background. The face looks transparent and really strange. Many believe this to be a being of paranormal nature, since nobody was in the hallway at the time, other than the two men. How do we explain this? Creepy for sure. The following clip has been shared by Erwan Bomank, and this was apparently captured on a construction site of some sorts, and they caught something quite interesting in the distance, it reads. Let's take a look. Oh. What? Let's watch that again, guys. See? We don't see anybody there at the time. Also, it reads that there should not have been any bystanders, so the uploader speculated that this could be a kuntilanak, perhaps. Do you agree with that?
Could be who? All right, so gotta go. There's a spot in here where showed that spot. Yeah, I'm thinking it was like right in here. And she's not there. And now
Also,
she
it
is there.
reads that there should not have been any bystanders, so The uploader speculated that this could be a kuntilanak,
Would be an odd
perhaps.
place to be a
Do you agree with
bystander.
that?
Interesting.
In the past week, we have taken a look at one of Kent's latest investigations. He was alone in the lamb house for a while and compiled some of the creepiest things that were recorded during that time. The following a recording, he was upstairs in his bedroom and asking questions to the other side because he was certain to have heard something up there.
Hello? Now, when I go through the door of the bedroom, I hear a strange sound behind me, and I turn the camera around really fast. Now, I didn't see anything there, but out of curiosity, when I was going over these recordings, after I saw what was captured on the stairway, I also lightened up the recording from when I spun the camera around, and there was another strange anomaly captured.
Kent believes that a shadow was right behind him and possibly making it down the stairs into the dining room again. Was the entity possibly making him come upstairs and maybe passing through him to go downstairs? Another mystery for sure.
It is obvious there are definitely certain entities that do not want to be seen by the living.
The following was taken during a haunted ghost tour of Salem, MA. This is an old house that has several ghost sightings, especially seen through the windows. The story goes that a man and his family lost their lives in there. The ghost on this picture was taken in an area where the house butts up against another house, and not a common walkway, very narrow area. The photos before and after are clear and not this blurry. So, what do we say to this one? Did this person capture a real ghost? Some commenters say that this looks like a child that might be wearing a white dress. Could this be so?
It does look like a child. I'm thinking more of a white shirt than a white dress, but that's just me being contrary, I'm sure. Some reason the whole image, though, just reminds me of like some of the artistic filters in Photoshop, like the watercolors and just the different ways that you can take a photograph and change it to look like what, like a work of art, basically. Take your photo, make it look like it's a watercolor or something else, whatever. This is what this kind of looks like, rather than in the actual original photo. I'd like to see the other photos taken at about the same time.
Now we want to take another look at TikTok user Face the Light, who documented a haunting at her former family home that involved a shadow man that had terrorized her for a good while. Now it seems that she has moved and things have gotten a bit more quiet, until the day where she started this particular TikTok again.
Maybe when I'm done with it, I can send you this.
On another TikTok, she continues a room tour, on which she talks about the amazing items that she could gather for her new place. Now let's see.
I just wanted to show you my room. This is the bedding I got. This is the duvet that I grabbed from the house. There's all my books that I could not fit on that shelf. Saw in the last video, some really weird stuff has been happening around here. Like I keep hearing big random noises. I don't want to freak you out. I mean, I'm not that worried about it. I mean, it's kind of freaky, But anyways, on a lighter note,
And here the apartment tour continues, and she is aware that these events seem to transpire more and more.
with the nice towel that you sent me, thank you.
Who knows? Maybe the thing that was haunting her has moved to the new place with her. And it takes all a pretty dark turn when indeed what other viewers describe as the Shadow Man is making a return and freaks the living bejeebies out of her.
There's someone on the back porch.
Mm.
Pretty much looks like the same figure, doesn't it? The Shadow Man just stands in front of the window for a while, peeking in and staring at her. Then it appears that he makes it into the house for some reason, and this is where Face the Light takes the last couple of recordings of this terrifying being.
Mm.
Isn't that terrifying? Following
Curious.
videos were found by user Heaven Sung, and he states that he uncovered
I don't
this
know what to think
interesting
about that
case
one.
on Maximum Disclosure. Heaven told me that the following incidents took place in the residence of a man who, after moving into a new place, had the feeling that not everything was quite as normal as it seemed at first. For the first week, there was nothing wrong with the house. However, for whatever reason, the man could hear some weird banging noises that could be heard through several rooms of his house. Thinking it was the neighbors at first, the man simply hoped that these renovations wouldn't go on for many more days. One night, though, he woke up to another loud bang and saw a shadow standing in front of his bed. This terrified him so much that he kept the little nightlight on for the following nights. And things only got stranger by the day. He swore that he could see more and more of these strange shadows, even during the day. He saw them walking around in the house when nobody else was there. Really creepy, apparently. At some point, the man mounted several cameras up in the house to see if he could capture any of this activity. Then, the following was uploaded on his profile.
Okay. Saw that. Let's take another look. Yep.
What appears to be
Next.
the shadow of a man can be seen, walking
like
into the
coming
room
up.
and then vanishing towards the bed. Really strange. Could this be a reflection from somewhere else? It's possible. Maybe from the window. Thing is, this bedroom didn't have a window. However, in the end, we can't really find a real answer to it.
How do you have a bedroom without a window? I think we call that a closet. Yeah.
There's still all these weird events that transpire in his house. The man thought the same and wanted to capture more proof that these shadow sightings were not just make-believe or easily explainable by any kind of reflection. On one of the following nights, he captured another corner of his bedroom and placed the camera towards the bed and his dressing mirror, which were standing right next to it. When he came back to check the footage later, he saw this.
Is that mirror serving as a portal? Or is our shadowy entity thing just really vain? It looked like it was a portal. It comes in, it's looking around, and then suddenly it doesn't want to come through.
Another large shadow figure that steps into the frame, but it can only be picked up in the mirror. Really mysterious, isn't it? If this isn't just a setup, possibly staged by the owner, we really have to ask ourselves here, what could be the reason for all these sightings? Could it be a former owner, perhaps? Or is it something completely different?
That is really strange. And scary. I would not want that mirror anywhere in my house. Yeah, no.
This video is from Jose and depicts a father who was playing with his two kids in their family home. These two boys were clearly having fun together, and it is not known if the house they were currently located at was infamous for having any unusual encounters happening in the past. When they watched the video afterwards, they got pretty spooked.
Yeah,
Looks like it's sinister.
it's kind of funky, freaky looking. Could also be
The
pareidolia.
next video was recorded by Gabby Dio. In the description of the video, she states that besides the dog, nobody seemed to be home at the time, and that she only found out about the odd thing in the background after reviewing the video afterwards. Let's take a look.
Mm.
It appears that an unidentified person is walking out of a room. Could it be
Yeah.
anything mysterious? The dog also notices it. How do you read its behavior? Maybe it was just a person that was home at the time, and Gabby wasn't aware of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, the dog didn't seem too terribly interested in whoever it was.
This video was recorded by a user who states that one Friday night he saw something rather unusual appear in his doorbell camera. He was having a friend over, and they both spent the last couple of hours playing video games. At some point, the young man received a motion alert from his camera, so he opened it on his computer and was quite freaked out, to say the least. Let's see.
What is that? You see that, Mom? Yeah, I see it.
A creeper was standing in front of their house. It is unknown what that person wanted and how they got there. The two men were pretty uneasy, and the figure had disappeared seconds after this recording. Was it somebody playing a prank on them? Or was there something else going on?
Okay, that was weird. Very weird. So, what do y'all think about that? Got any insight on some of those entities or whatever we were seeing there? It's a bit bizarre. You know, Kent in the Ghosts of Carmel, Maine definitely gets a lot of freaky, weird stuff in his videos. And I don't know about that last one. Or I don't know. Just a lot of strange stuff. But leave your comments down below. And you know the drill. Like the video and subscribe to my channel and check out my Patreon. All right. I will see you soon. Until then, bye.